So the next topic is section 23 of your Contract Act, which will be on unlawful agreements. Now, when I take up the term unlawful agreements, I need to understand that at the time of entering into a contract, okay, there is an instance where it is forbidden by law. If permitted, it is defeating the provisions of law. If it is regarded as immoral by court or any public policy. For example, I enter into a contract with you to sell the next building, Mambalam police station, for a sum of rupees 2 crore. I told you both of us will surely land up in Mambalam police station itself. Yes or no? So it is a public property. I have certain things which I need to consider and look forward. Right? Number one, what are the agreements which are expressly declared as void? Trading with enemy, stifling prosecution, child party and maintenance, marriage brokerage contract, trading with enemy, stifling prosecution, child party and maintenance, marriage brokerage contracts, interference with the course of justice, sale of public offices, agreement in restraint of marriage except in case of a minor, agreement in restraint of legal proceedings, agreement to carry lawful trade, business or profession. These are the instances where the agreements are expressly declared as void. Again, I have told you, you have to remember these 9 points. Point number 1, trading with enemy. If you are trading with enemy, the position of the contract is void. Stifling prosecution, stopping a person from being prosecuted. Child party and maintenance, where you don't have sufficient money, you want to initiate a suit, your friend gives you money to initiate a suit, or your friend agrees that, or your friend says that I will give you money to initiate the suit. Those instances are all not allowed. Interference with the course of justice. You want to tamper the evidence in a court. You somehow get into some unscrupulous methods to tamper the evidences. All these things are expressly declared as void. Okay. Now, I will give you 5 minutes time. I have already given you so many times this particular option, but I am very clear about, and I want you to please remember it. The reason why I am giving you time is also very, very clear, that I want you to go through the 9 provisions. Please take out your study material, 9 points, check if you are able to recollect the 9 points, or else spend this 5 minutes, memorize, try saying back the 9 points. I want you to ensure that you are ready with this. Go ahead. So, the 9 points where agreements are expressly declared as void, please prepare that for your exams as well. Again, I have asked you to read that. That's very, very important. Please remember all the 9 points. Coming up with the next one, we would have seen about blue pencil rule, where there is legal and illegal part. So, where there is legal and illegal part, the legal part alone, if it is capable of a physical separation, and it can be enforced without taking any aid from the illegal part, then in such case, okay, the legal part alone is enforceable and it will be valid. Now, rice and opium ko, rice or opium ko example kuduthirpen. Yes or no? If it is rice or opium, sorry, for example, I agree to sell you rice or opium for a sum of rupees 1000. If I am selling you opium for 1000, it is illegal. If I am selling you rice for 1000, it is legal. So, in that case, rice for 1000, I will say is valid, capable of a physical separation. Whether it is capable of being enforced without taking any aid from the illegal part? Yes. Okay. So, blue pencil rule paathukonga. It should be capable of a physical separation, and such rule should be capable of being enforced without taking any aid from the illegal part. Okay. So, this is with regard to your unlawful agreements. And then coming up with wagering agreements. I told you wager is a bet. Under in 30, wager is a bet. So either there is a chance of winning or losing. There is no interest in the transaction. And as far as Maharashtra is concerned, wagering is illegal. Then you have contingent contract. What is a contingent contract? Where a contract is performed on the basis of the reciprocal promise. Contingent contract ku moonu condition irukum. Enna? Based on happening or not happening of collateral event. Future nu solladinga okana? No, don't confuse. Based on happening or non happening of a collateral event. Aduthathu must be அடுத்தது அப்புறம் இன்னும் ஒரு பாயிண்ட் நான் சொல்லி கொடுத்துருக்கேன். இல்ல அது வேற, இன்னொன்னு சொல்லி என்னமா? நோ ஸ்பெசிபிக் நோ. Again, please try to recollect. Such collateral event shall not form part of your reciprocal promise. இந்த வார்த்தையை சொல்லிருக்கேன் நான் கிளாஸ்ல. ஞாபகம் இருக்கா இல்லையா? If you don't remember, please write it down. 1, 2, 3 point க்கு அப்புறம் next line. Such collateral event should not form part of your reciprocal promise. Sir, for example, I agree to give you a car. You agree to give me a sum of rupees 2 lakhs if the ship reaches the port safely. If the ship reaching the port safely is a collateral event. Promise seller, I am giving you my car. What is the reciprocal promise? You are giving me a sum of 2 lakhs. And the 2 lakhs kudukuradhu reciprocal promise. Adu collateral event ah consider panna kudadu. Such collateral event shall not form part of my reciprocal promise. Okay? Clear friends? Then what are the types of contingencies we have? Based on happening, based on non-happening, based on happening within specified time, based on non-happening within specified time, based on behavior of a person with an unspecified time, based on impossible events. Happening. Example kuda. Yes, quick. Based on happening of an event. Book by this time you should be able to tell. A agrees to give some money to bring body seat. Talagila kati tongoda parambaro nan. A agrees to pay me some of money doesn't bring in the front. ஆனா நீ எதுக்கு கீழே வந்துட்ட? முழுசா சொல்லு. Tomorrow. Correct? Appo you are specifying time. So the example which you gave is based on happening of an event with a specified time. Appo naanukku mala penjaduna the contract is valid. Naanukku penjaduna it is not valid. Inniki penjalu not valid. I am telling you one now an example. I agree to give you my car for a sum of rupees 2 lakhs if the ship reaches the port safely. This is the example for the first one. Ship reaching the port is based on happening of an event. I have not specified as to when the ship will reach the port. If the ship reaches itself, I will give you money. If the ship reaches the port on or before 15th, then it is based on happening within specified time. Clear? So it can be based on happening, non-happening. நான் இப்பயும் தெளிவா சொல்லிட்டேன். நீ ரொம்ப யோசிச்சு கன்ஃபியூஸ் பண்ணிக்கிற. இந்த மேரேஜ் சமாச்சாரம்லாம் ஹேப்பனிங் நான் ஹேப்பனிங்க்கு வரவே கூடாது. மேரேஜ் எங்க தெரியுமா வரும்? மேரேஜோட எக்ஸாம்பிள் நீ எப்ப கொடுக்கலாம்னா based on behavior of a person with an unspecified time. Confuse பண்ணிக்காத. Because if you give this example, automatically I will tell you. For all that I know you, you will confuse the fourth example. Fifth one, based on behavior of a person with an unspecified time. Example, you can't confuse it. Example. So don't do that. Example, ship which ship reaching the port safely should be a collateral event for the first one. If the ship reaches the port on or before specified time, if the ship does not reach the port within 15th, not happening with a specified time. If the ship does not reach the port, not happening. Simple. Don't confuse. I'm telling you the ways where you can avoid in your exams. Mistakes you can avoid. Okay, ma'am? If you want to note it down. புரிஞ்சுதாங்கண்ணா தப்பு பண்ண மாட்டேங்க ஏன்னா ஃபார் ஆல் தட் ஐ நோ மேரேஜ் எக்ஸாம்பிள் எடுத்தேன்னா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நாள் நீ கன்ஃபியூஸ் பண்ணிட்டேன்னா வேண்டாம் டோன்ட் மேக் தட் மிஸ்டேக்
ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நாளுக்குமே ஷிப் லாஸ்ட் நாளுக்கு
எக்ஸாக்ட்லி நான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நாளுக்கு ஷிப் வச்சுக்கோ ஃபிஃப்த் ஒனுக்கு வந்து மேரேஜ் சிக்ஸ்த் ஒன் இம்பாசிபிலிட்டிஸ் அது ப்ராப்ளம் now I'm coming up with based on behavior of a person with an unspecified time. Okay, A agrees to give B a sum of rupees 10,000. Okay, if B marries C. Now unfortunately C has married D. What happens? Now this is the instance where the agreement between A and B is now almost unspecified time. I don't know when C will divorce D. C may divorce D, or C may die before D, or D may die, or C and D will live happily ever after, like what we see in fairy tales. And the fourth one again, we wish பண்ணுவோமே எப்ப பார்த்தாலும் ஏன் எவனையாவது போடுதல் எடுத்துறோம் நம்ம. So what if C happily dies, C happily lives with D. Okay, C and D happily live ever after. So what will happen? The contract between A and D will always remain invalid. Correct? Will always remain what do you call inactive. It can never happen. So it's based on behavior of a person with an unspecified time. So this is an instance where a further impossibility comes, but we don't know when until the impossibility will last. The last one is based on impossible events. I agree to give you a sum of rupees 1 crore if parallel lines meet each other. Or I agree to give you a sum of rupees 1 crore if you discover a treasure of magic. Where will you go and find magic or treasure? Are we in Nadi, Thailand? No. So this is based on impossible events. So what are the instances of contingency? Based on happening, non-happening, happening within specified time, non-happening with a specified time, based on behavior of a person with an unspecified time, and the last one is based on impossible events. Clear, friends? Yes? Are you clear with contingency and the instances? Your contingency shall not form part of your reciprocal promise. Collateral வந்து reciprocal promise போட event ஆகக்கூடாது. Reciprocal promise வேற, collateral event வேற. Okay? Please be very clear about one thing, friends. A selling his car to B for a sum of rupees 10,000 if ship reaches the port safely. இது வந்து promise. இது reciprocal promise. This is only collateral event. Okay, this is only collateral event. Ship reaching the port safely is the collateral event, while A giving the car is a promise, and this is a reciprocal promise. Clear? Yes. If you want, please mark it down also. நான் ரொம்ப கேவலமா எழுதிருக்கேன், but still with the speed in which I wrote, you can mark it down. Finished? Okay. So coming up with the next one, which is on quasi-contract. What is a quasi-contract? Quasi means like. It resembles to be a contract. So, quasi-contract is something where I will call upon to be a contract which comes into an existence by virtue of law. Avanga enter pannala, but that has come into an existence by virtue of law. So let us understand what are the instances of quasi-contract. Coming up with section 68, sir, 68 to 72, every section will have illustration. That's the best way for you to study quasi-contract. Okay, section 68. A person who supplies necessaries to another person who is incompetent to enter into a contract. Supply of necessaries to a minor. Supply of necessaries to a person who is bedridden. For example, there is a friend of yours who was very active. He was a breadwinner of the family. Unfortunately, he had met with an accident and he has slipped into coma. Now, you don't know how many months or how many years the person will be in coma. But still, he is alive. So, what his wife does, his wife is taking care of him at home. Now, for the medical expenses or for all these things, you go ahead and you help his wife. You give the money. Fortunately, the person wakes up after 3 months. It's a quasi instance. What you have given him, and he may go ahead and give you the money back. Oh, okay, fine. But this is all an instance of a quasi nature. Apply it to a minor. Supply of necessaries to a minor. Where the guardian is supplying necessaries to the minor. Is the guardian entitled to reimburse it from the estates of the minor? Yes. Clear, friends? Yes. So, section 68. 69. A person who is interested in the payment of money which another is bound by the law to pay and who therefore pays it is entitled to be reimbursed by the other. Tenant and landlord. And the illustration of section 69 you will automatically remember. Tenant and landlord. As per, so just recollecting you the example, rental agreement is entered between tenant and landlord. As per the rental agreement, the landlord is supposed to pay the property tax. Fortunately or unfortunately, the landlord has not paid the property tax and he has gone to America. Now, there is a demand notice from the corporation and they say you have not paid the property tax for a long time, we are ordering for an eviction. Now, in order to take up and keep your possession, you are paying the property tax. You are an interested person, you are a tenant. As per the rental agreement, you are not supposed to pay. But you are an interested person. If you don't pay, you will not be able to enjoy the possession of the house. So, you are paying the property tax. Once a person comes back from America, you are getting it reimbursed from. Is it how? Yes. Is there an instance of a quasi-contract? Yes. Okay. Next one. One person lawfully does anything for another person or lawfully delivers goods to another person. Now, at this instance, okay, if there is an instance where, a delivery is happening, pizza guy, he delivers pizza at your doorstep. If you have not ordered, what are you supposed to do? Return it back. If we open the pizza and if we finish off garlic bread and finally there is another calling bell saying, sir, no sir, this order is not for you, for the next person. What are you supposed to do? Pay for the order. Right? So, here, by adapting to a transaction, you are accepting it, correct? So that will be an instance. Then coming up with section 71, a person who finds goods belonging to another and takes them into his custody is taken to that of a bailee. So I told you an example where I leave the watch in the class and I go. I leave my mobile phone in the class and I go. You take back and you keep it safely. The next day morning when I come back, you return it to him. You return it to me. So your circumstances is similar to that of a bailee, which means you have to go ahead and return it. Contract of bailment, I also gave you an example for it. Dress. You are giving your dress to a tailor to stitch. You are a bailer. Tailor is the bailee. The bailed goods is the dress. In case of bailment, you are only parting with the possession, not the ownership, which means you are only giving your dress to the tailor. The tailor is not the owner for the dress. He is supposed to stitch the dress as per your requirements and he is supposed to return it back to you, correct? This is what is the bailment. Okay, so the person who is finding out the lost goods should hold it like a bailee, and when you return back, they have to give it to you. Okay, so that is there. And section 72, a person to whom money has been paid or anything delivered by mistake or by coercion must return or repay it. Okay, I have given you an instance where A and B are identical twins. C has borrowed money from B. Now C knocks A's doorstep, and instead of B, A is opening the door. Now C is going ahead and giving the money to A, thinking that he has given to B. They are identical twins. Now it is a responsibility of A to give the money to B. Clear? It's a responsibility of A to give the money to B. Are you clear with this, friends? Yes. So these are the instances of quasi-contract, section 68 to 72. Please go ahead and read it out. Coming up with the next one, appropriation of payments. Where in case there are various debts which are borrowed, if the debtor is making an appropriation, it shall be appropriated against the debt which was borrowed on the debtor. If debtor fails to make, creditor makes an appropriation, then it shall be appropriated by the creditor. If neither debtor nor creditor appropriates, then the debt shall be discharged in the order of time. Correct? FIFO manner, first in, first out. This is termed as Clayton's rule. Right? So we have also done with appropriation of payments. Now coming up with performance of contract. When I come up with performance, friends, please understand that performance of a contract, who is supposed to perform? Who is the person who is supposed to perform? Promisor. Legal representative of the promisor. Okay. Can a third party perform? Okay. So please go ahead and look out for who are the persons who can perform. Quickly read through. Yes. So I think I've just opened your study material also so that it's easy for you. Who can perform? This is very important, friends. Please go ahead and read this out. Okay. Performance is always, demanded by the promisee. Third party has no right to demand for performance. A promisee dies, then his legal representative can demand. Who can perform? I am speaking about who can demand for performance. Okay. Next one is who may perform. A promisor personally may go ahead and perform. Okay. Or through his agent, or through his legal representative, or third person. Okay. Okay. Who can perform where? Demand for performance where? Please don't confuse. Who can demand? The promisor himself. Whereas who may perform? Promisor, agent, third party, legal representative. I hope you are clear with this. Right. Then coming up with effect of refusal to accept offer or performance, where a promisor has made an offer of performance to promisee and the offer has not been accepted. The promisor is not responsible for non-performance. Right. What are the conditions for valid performance? They must be unconditional. It should be performed by the promisor or his representative. Should be performed within proper time, proper place, and as per the contract in whole or in part. Okay. Then I think these are the stuffs which we have already discussed. But the next revision point which I wanted to focus is on devolution of liabilities and assets, where there are joint promises. One promisor dies, then the other joint promisors will go ahead and perform. So I'm coming up with this again. Rather, ABC has borrowed a sum of rupees 3,000 from D. ABC has borrowed a sum of rupees 3,000 from D. A dies. Now A's legal representative along with B and C should go ahead and satisfy the debt. Correct? Okay. Sir, A and B die. what will happen? A, B, legal representative along with C should go ahead and perform. If all the three die, all the three legal representatives will go ahead and owe the money to B. Correct? This is devolution of joint liabilities. What is asset?
Collect the
Ulta. So the same scenario, instead of borrowing, they have lent it to D, which means D has borrowed rupees 3,000 from A, B and C. Now if A dies, legal representative A along with B and C will go ahead and collect the money from B. This is termed as devolution of
joint
assets. Clear? Yes? Right. What is the liability of the joint promise? Joint and several. Yes or no? The liability of the joint promise are joint and several, which means together everybody is liable. Individually also each person is liable. Right. I'll give you a case. Give me the answer for it. Sir, let's say A, B, C has borrowed a sum of rupees 30,000 from B. Okay, they have borrowed 30,000 from B. Okay, now C is declared as insolvent. Okay, his assets are sufficient to 0.4 of his liabilities, which means for every 1 rupee of his liability, he has 40 paise of asset. Okay, clear friends? Yes? Agreed? Now, B has absconded. Yes. What will be the money which A owes? Does C owe anything?
C owes till the extent
என்ன எவ்வளவு பா? Calculate.
10,000 into 4. 10,000 into 0.
10,000 into 4 ah?
0.4.
0. How much? Sure. Right. Now I am coming up with this 4,000. Okay. Ayyo, தெரியவே இல்ல. Okay. Only red color is. $4,000. Okay. Right. What will be the remaining 6,000?
A will have to.
A will have to bear. Why?
Because B has absconded.
Okay.
A will also bear 10,000 of these.
So the 10,000 of
These.
B, sure. That will also be shared between.
He will pay only 0.4 for the 5,000.
Read the provision. I want you to go ahead, read the provision, that's all. Are you clear? Sir, I cannot have K, I cannot have C to share. A will have to bear. So,
A will pay 10,000 plus 10,000 plus 0.6 into
6,000. என்னாச்சுமா?
26,000.
என்னாச்சு? 16,000 தான். B and C share put together is 16,000.
B is absconded.
Plus A's share.
Yes.
A share is 26,000. இல்ல இது புரிஞ்சுதா? B equals C equals 16,000. ஏன் அவனோட ஷேர் கொடுக்கணும்ல? அவனோட 10,000. சேர்த்தா எவ்வளோ? 26,000. Clear? So he will owe 26,000. C will owe 4,000. No. Answer my question. Can A be compelled to pay the entire amount?
Yeah, if C also meant.
C also C is insolvent or declare our own lieu. A can be compelled to pay the entire amount. Whatever A is able to recover from C, that is his option. That will happen in case of a joint promise. Yes or no?
Yes.
Right. So this is with regard to joint promise. We saw about performance where they are mutual and dependent, mutual and independent, mutual and concurrent. I think you are clear. I think you will be clear with the examples as well. That time and place, the contract must be performed within specified time. If no specified time is given, it shall be performed within reasonable time. Reasonable time depends upon the facts and circumstances. Right? And then we have also seen about what will happen if there is a proper place. If the place is agreed, then it shall be performed at the place at which it is agreed. Fine. Suppose A agrees to give B 100 tons of sugar. Now B instructs his warehouse keeper to collect the 100 tons of sugar on behalf. Is it allowed? Yes. As per B's instruction, I can go and deliver it in the warehouse of B as well. Clear, friends? Yes. So we have seen with regard to this. Now coming up with discharge of contract. What is discharge? Termination of the contract. So what are the modes by which a contract can be discharged? Discharged by performance, where both the parties to a contract perform. Attempted performance. One person makes an attempt. For example, I have agreed to deliver you my car on Friday morning. Sir, on Friday morning I am outside your house with car, but you are not allowing me to deliver the car. Okay? Then it is an instance of attempted performance. Next, mutual agreement, where both the parties have an agreement where the contract is discharged by way of mutual agreement. Novation, recession, alteration, remission, waiver. What is novation? A new contract comes into existence in all the place of an existing contract. In case of novation, the parties to a contract may also change. Next one is recession. Recession means cancellation. Remission means
Lesser
acceptance of a lesser fulfillment. சரி remission or recession எப்படி confuse பண்ணிக்க கூடாதுன்னு சொல்லிருக்கேன். C. Recession ல இருக்கிற C stands for cancel. So recession means cancellation. Remission means acceptance of a lesser fulfillment. Alteration is change in the existing terms and conditions. Waiver is waiving of a condition. Remission or waiver you combine பண்ணி படிங்க. Remission is, for example, I have given you 10,000 rupees at a rate of interest of 10% per annum. Instead of 10% of interest, you are agreeing with me and I am also okay with you to give an interest at the rate of 5%. Now in a place where I was earning 10%, I am coming out to 5. Acceptance of a lesser fulfillment. If I say I don't want interest, just pay me the principal, it is a waiver. Clear, friends? Yes. So this is with regard to discharge by way of agreement. Then discharge by operation of law, death of the promisor, where in case of personal skill is involved, insolvency, unauthorized material alteration, identity of the promisor and promisee getting merged. Tenant has a rental agreement. Tenant has purchased the property. The landlord has sold the property to tenant itself. What is happening? The rental agreement comes to an end by way that the tenant rights is now merged with that of his landlord. That will come with merger. Right. Now the next is supervening impossibility. What is supervening impossibility? An act which is beyond the power. It's an act of God. It's beyond the nature, beyond the human power. It's nature. So, for example, destruction of the subject matter. I have given you a number of examples with supervening impossibility. The scooter is washed in flood. The scooter catches fire. There is an earthquake. All these things. There is a destruction of the subject matter. Death of a party. Any one person becomes unsound mind. Enemy alien. Change in law after the formation of the law and the contract becomes unlawful. So till today lottery was lawful. Suddenly one fine morning the government says lottery is unlawful. Because of the change in law, the next day it becomes unlawful. Clear, friends? Yes. So, and then discharge by breach. Breach, you have two instances, actual breach and anticipatory breach. In case of actual breach, on the date of performance. Anticipatory breach,
prior to the
prior to the date of performance. Okay. Actual breach, இன்னொரு விஷயம் என்ன சொல்லுவேன்? On the day or during the performance. 100 tons should be delivered and delivered 50. The remaining 50 is not delivered. It can also be actual breach. Correct? In case of anticipatory breach. Okay? Before the due date of performance. Anticipatory breach law, what is that you have? Sir, for example, I have agreed to deliver you a scooter on Friday. We have entered into such agreement on Monday morning. Thursday, you come to know that I have sold the scooter to some other person. Thursday, you've come to know that I have sold the scooter to some other person. Suppose, on Thursday evening, if the scooter is burnt into ashes, on Friday morning, will you have a remedy of anticipatory breach? Supervening impossibility. அதனாலதான் anticipatory breach அன்னைக்கே contract cancel பண்ணிருக்கணும். அப்போ what will happen? Breach or remedies, claim for damages இருந்திருக்கலாம். But if you are waiting until the due date of performance, the subject matter is destroyed by supervening impossibility, then you don't have a remedy. Suppose you are waiting until the due date of performance and the person does not perform. What will happen? Do you have a chance to go ahead and claim for damages? Yes. Hello. You wait until the due date of performance and the promisor does not perform the promise, you can claim for damages. Clear? Yes. So this is a work on the anticipatory breach and actual breach as well. Then you have types of damages. Ordinary damage, which is the difference between contracted price minus market price. Special damage, where under special circumstances it arises. Nominal damage, where it is not necessary to give a damage, but at least even a rupee may be a damage. Then vindictive or exemplary, where it is by way of punitive damages it is being avoided, it is something which is inflicted by the court. Now, remedies in case of breach of contract: cancel the contract, claim for damages, quantum merit, specific performance. Now, in case of rescission is a cancellation. Damages, you will claim either it is ordinary, special, nominal or vindictive, whatever it is. Damages, again you need to remember a case law. Headley versus back sale. Damages should have arisen in the ordinary course. Yes or no? Sir, in case of damages under section 73, I would have given you two rules. Damages are recoverable under two cases. One, when they arise in the usual course of things, and when they are such as may be reasonably be have supposed to be in contemplation of both the parties. At that time they have made the contract and as a result of probable breach with it. Can loss of profit be claimed? Headley versus back sale. Yes or no? Yeah, no. ஞாபகம் இருக்கா அந்த கேஸ்? அங்க நோட்ஸ் எல்லாம் கொடுத்திருக்கேன், தெரியுதா? நீதான் எழுதிருக்க. In the matter of Headley versus Backsale, section 73, which speaks on the plaintiff was actually the owner of the mill. Headley versus owner of the mill, and the defendant was a carrier. The broken part was a crankshaft, which is actually the more important part of your machinery. So what happened was the mill owner. Now to the basement. So the mill owner had given the crankshaft to the carrier. The mill owner had given the crankshaft to the carrier as a model one. அது உடைஞ்சிடுது, பட் அந்த பார்ட் வந்து ஒரு மாடலா கொடுக்குறோம். இது மாதிரி ஒன்னு வாங்கிட்டு வா அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு we are giving it to him. The carrier doesn't know that it's a crankshaft, it's an important piece and all those things. He just takes it. He goes and he makes another one and he brings it, but it becomes delayed. As a result of which, the mill owner lost profit as well. So can the mill owner claim loss of profit also? In the delay ku vena nee vandu compensate paniko, ana loss of profit na enna? Had the collection come properly on time, I would have earned 10 rupees profit. In a place of 10 rupees earning profit, I have just earned 6 rupees as profit. Loss of profit means I should have earned a profit, but I have earned a profit but below that. Profit ana kammiya sambadhirukken, my profit korachirukku. Is the plaintiff entitled for loss of profit also? Held no. It was held no because damages should arise naturally in the usual course of things, and when they are such that as may be reasonably have been supposed to be in contemplation as a probable result of which. And one more thing, friends, when damages are recoverable for loss of reputation and mental agony, one, there is a breach of promise to marry. Another one is wrong dishonor of a check for insufficient funds, even though funds are available in the bank account. Correct? Okay? Yes. I'll give you another example. In the Headley versus Backstage case, an employee was terminated in the month of April. So this termination was made, and he had applied in the local court challenging his termination. The case went, and as a result, in the month of November, the same year, the month of November, verdict came in the employee's favor that the termination is wrongful. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 8 months the employee has lost his salary and service. Will he be entitled the salary for 8 months? Yes. For his wrongful termination, as a damage, he will be entitled for the 8 months salary. Yes. Plus, for the mental agony which has been caused, is he entitled for damage? No. Okay. He is not entitled. Loss of reputation and mental agony only can be charged in 2 instances. One, when there is a breach of promise to marry. Number 2, when funds are available in the bank account, but the banker has wrongfully dishonored the check stating insufficient funds. Only in these 2 cases, for loss of reputation or mental agony, you can claim for damages. But for the 8 months which he has lost his service, is he entitled for damage? Yes. Our salary damage, is he entitled? Absolutely allowed. But for loss of reputation and mental agony, it will not be worked out. Here, friends? Yes? Are you clear with this? Please go ahead and read it out. Quick. So are you clear? Yes? So these are the instances where you will need to look upon in your contract act. I've given you a holistic picture about which are the areas which you need to look upon. So starting from contract, definition, 5 essential elements, Balfour versus Balfour. Then under offer and acceptance, the characteristics of a valid offer, types of offer, valid rules for acceptance, and then coming up with your lapse of offer and its conditions. And then followed by what will happen in case of consideration. Consideration necessary, change it to a contract, change it to a consideration, no contract. Then capacity of parties, straight, section 11 and 12. And the status disqualification, parts and position of a minor. Then coming up with your flaws in consent. Flaws in consent, coercion, undue influence, fraud, misrepresentation, mistake or exception to party. Right? And then what is unlawful agreements? The 9 instances relating to unlawful agreement. Contingent contract, quasi contract, wagering. Quasi section 68 to 72, clearer padinga with illustrations. Okay, contingent, illustration happening, non-happening, ship. Behavior of a person with an unspecified time, go ahead and give the marriage example. Impossible events, it is parallel lines or discovering a treasure of magic, whatever it is. Okay, right? Done. Apron. Performance of contract, appropriation of payments, who can perform, joint promisor, joint and several liability, all these things. mutual and dependent, mutual and independent, mutual and concurrent. அது பாத்துக்கோங்க. When contract needs to be performed. Okay. Coming on with discharge, mutual agreement, novation, recession, remission, அதோட meanings தான் ரொம்ப important. Okay. And then concept with regard to damages, specific performance, quantum merit, and your injunction. நான் அது நோட்ஸா கொடுத்திருக்கேன் கரெக்ட்டா? Right. Please go through that. That would have been given as a handwritten notes for you. Go ahead and read. So these are the areas which you need to concentrate under your contract law. Clear, friends? Yes. So this is with regard to your contract act. Tomorrow we shall go and revise partnership, sale, and limited liability partnership. Tomorrow the agenda will be first session morning 6:30 to 8:30 will be your sale of goods act. And then post your break, we will revise partnership and limited liability partnership. Okay. Monday you will be having a revision under your company's act. Clear? Yes. So I think we are completing with this for this day. Please go home and I want you to read contract law.